Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I'm just going to review a little bit of the NFL. Lots of action this weekend. Some absolute blowouts last night. 2 games. Neither one were even competitive in the second half. Matthew Stafford was awful, as was Carr for Oakland. It was just an amazing blow up by each of them. How about this? The new coaches, and this is kind of all over the internet, but in case you didn't see it. Raiders, Gruden, new coach, lost. Lions, Patricia, new coach, lost. Bears, Nagy, new coach, lost. Titans, Vrabel, new coach, lost. Cardinals, Wilkes, new coach, lost. Colts, Reich, new coach, lost. Giants, Shermer, new coach, lost. 0-7! New coaches. Now, last year they were 4-2 the first week, their first game. This year, 0-7. And I got to bring this up. Last year, the Patriots, of course, in the Super Bowl, Matt Patricia was the defensive coordinator, and they gave up a ton of yards and points against Philadelphia. During the season, their defense was not all that stellar, ranked very low compared to other teams. This guy gets a head coaching job at Detroit, and their defense last night, again, was awful. So I don't see the the performance. This defensive guru, and now he's a head coach. Geez, I don't know. Caldwell did a better job while he was there. Now I can't throw the guy under the bus off one game, but I'm just looking at the body of work for the last 2 years, and it's not very impressive. What were we impressed with this past week? I mean, the Patriots did their job, but they weren't really, all that much. They just got by a team that was rusty and stale, but they were in control. The Jets last night, I'm very impressed with Darnold. Now, granted, they're going up against the Lions, and we don't know what to think of them. You had to be very impressed with Packers, and Aaron Rodgers coming in the second half and after the injury and just leading them back was amazing. Only he could do that. It was amazing. Fitzpatrick for Tampa Bay, awesome. What the hell happened to the defense for the Saints? I think that's 5 or 6 years in a row. The opening game for the Saints they've lost. Pretty amazing. What else did we see? Of course, Buffalo is not even a professional football team right now. They don't have a quarterback. I'm not sure. They got to pick somebody up to be their quarterback because what they have there now, the kid out of Wyoming's not ready. That's a job that's going to have to fall to him maybe down the road, but it's not now. They got to pick somebody up off the waivers or somebody out there in mothballs has got to come in there and give them a little bit of experience at quarterback. The Bengals have been rather impressive. In preseason, they were impressive, and I was kind of taken by the way they played. The Colts played a pretty good game. Andrew Luck's first game back after 2 years. That was good. I was very impressed with the Washington Redskins at Arizona, but you have to take that with a grain of salt because Arizona is also pretty bad. The Rams looked amazing in the second half. They are amazing. Their roster is incredible. I was not very impressed with Oakland at all. John Gruden is very questionable decisions with the things that he's done, but you've got to give him some time. Like I said, you can't throw any of these guys under the bus after one game. Of course, the Chargers touted high and everything else, and they lost, I think, for the umpteenth time, the Andy Reid's coached Chiefs, who looked kind of explosive, but, with the number of mistakes that the Chargers made, et cetera, again, you have to watch these teams for a couple of weeks to really know what you're seeing. I would say that some of these teams that are supposed to be pretty good and had a real bad week, they will bounce back. I expect the marketplace to react to that. Miami played that 7-hour game. They beat the Titans, and the Titans had a lot of injuries, including Mariota in that game. Now they go up to the Jets. After what the Jets did, that's going to be a tough game to figure. If the Jets for real at that, or that's a division rivalry too. And by the way, the division rivals last week, the Dogs did pretty well, which is normally the case. What else do we got? With Pittsburgh was, had the game in hand. Turnovers, I think they had 6 turnovers. Cleveland, of course, did what Cleveland does. Took it to overtime, couldn't figure it out. A couple head coaches that I think have got to be, I'm really not very impressed with Patricia, but that's one game, but I really wasn't impressed with him last year either, and I don't know how he got qualified for that job. But got to give him a little bit of time, but I really have to think that O'Brien for Houston, the Texans, I don't think this guy can win in the NFL. I just think, going back to when they called him Captain Hook and he pulled a quarterback in the first quarter because he looked bad. I mean, just the things that he does and says, I'm not impressed with him. I am impressed with their team. They have quality athletes. But on the other hand, he doesn't get much out of them. So we'll see. Got to give him time as well, but I'd say he's on my hot seat, and so is Hugh Jackson. You've got a guy that hasn't won a game. In the last 33 games, he's won once and tied once. I think it's time maybe we need a new face, a new voice. Those players need to have somebody else to follow and not him. In any case, we had a good week. Baseball's been really good. Had the Yankees yesterday. We had the under in the Oakland game with the Rams. The 2 winners there. We had a good weekend. So JimFeist.com for plays every day. Hank's up there. We've got a couple other guys up there as well. Hank had a real good week. So JimFeist.com for everything you need, sports betting, and we'll talk to you soon.